Thanks, Amy. For everybody out there that has tried my chocolate caramel toffee bars, here is your next best solution. These are going to be my fudge glazed cheesecake squares. So the first thing that you're going to need is the crust. And what I do for the crust, you can get your kids to help with this. This is about 3/4 of a package of crushed Oreos. And what I did was I put the Oreos in the bag and had my kids crush them all up with one of their toy hammers or a spoon or whatever works best for you. But this is about 3/4 of a bag of Oreos just crushed up. And you don't need to grease your pan, your 9x13 pan. You can just go ahead and put your crumbs in. And then what I do is I take a measuring cup to kind of flatten them all out, and you want to really press the crust down into the pan. And actually, before you do this, you could preheat your oven to 300 degrees. Now you can use a glass pan, or if you have one of those silver cake pans, that works great too. I just did this pan today so that you could see as I'm pressing them down into the pan. And they're going to move around a tiny bit when you're doing this and when you're putting your filling in, but don't worry, as long as you press it down, it will form the crust. And you'll be fine when you cut them. So you can see it's kind of moving around on me, but don't worry, it'll work. So that's your crust. So 3/4 of a bag of crushed Oreos, or you could do chocolate wafers with the sugar and the butter mixture. That works too. Okay, that's good enough for now. So next we're going to move on to the filling for the cheesecake part of it. In your filling, you are going to need 3 cream cheeses, 3 8-ounce cream cheeses softened. Leave them out at room temperature for maybe 1 to 2 hours. So you have 3 of those. And this will all go in the same bowl. In this I have 2 teaspoons pure vanilla, 1 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. Make sure it's not the evaporated kind. So you want 1 14-ounce can, and this gets pretty gooey. And we're going to beat this mixture together. Right now your oven's preheated to 300. This is such an easy, great recipe. If you've tried the chocolate caramel bars, this will be number 2 in your arsenal for guests and friends. So you have the 3 cream cheeses, the sweetened condensed milk. In this bowl, I have 2 ounces unsweetened chocolate, melted and slightly cooled. Slightly cooled is your most important part of this because you don't want it to be hot, and then you're adding eggs to this also. So make sure you have it cooled. So this is 2 ounces unsweetened chocolate. And I just melt this right in the microwave, easy. Just put your 2 squares in, melt it, and you're all set. Then I have 3 eggs that I've left out room temperature for about an hour, kind of with the cream cheese. Take your cream cheese out, take your eggs out, let them sit for a little while. Go ahead and put your eggs in. And then we're going to beat this mixture so that we get all the lumps out until it's nice and creamy. And I hope my bowl works because I wanted you to see it, so I used the clear bowl. Scrape all this down. Okay, so now you're going to go ahead and beat this all together. And this dessert, when it's all done, is so pretty. It looks like you slaved away at it all day. So you get the idea. This is pretty well mixed now. It will be a little lumpy, but it'll be okay when it's all baked and done from the oven. All right, so now you're going to take your chocolate cheesecake filling and you're going to pour it over your crust. Make sure you do it slow and gentle because remember the crumbs move around just a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and slowly pour it in. And we're going to bake this in a 300-degree oven for 40 to 50 minutes. And it's going to kind of come out, the top is going to kind of be spongy. And that's okay. What's great about this recipe, if you've done cheesecakes before, this doesn't crack. The top does not crack. So that's kind of nice if you're not going to do the glaze topping. So then just kind of take your spatula. See how it's coming up there, but that's okay. Just real gently get it to the corners. And that's it. How easy was that? One bowl with all your ingredients. And now you're going to take this cheesecake mixture with the crust and put it in your 300-degree oven for 40 to 50 minutes. And then after that, we let it cool, and we'll do our glaze next. And that's it. Okay, so here we have our finished cheesecake squares that baked for about 45 minutes. You want the bars to cool on your counter for about 5 to 10 minutes, but make sure they're still warm. Let's get going on our glaze. What I've done already is I've melted 2 ounces of unsweetened chocolate with 2 tablespoons of butter. Next, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of water. And in this cup, I have 1 3/4 cup of powdered sugar for the glaze. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little at a time so that it doesn't kind of go all over. So you want to mix this together for the glaze. And what's great about this glaze is once you put it on the warm bars, it's going to kind of go, it'll spread really nicely all over your bars. And then you're going to put them in the refrigerator for about 3 hours. Okay, and then how I spread it on the bars is I just slowly kind of go up and down to get it all on the bars. So you get the idea. So gently go ahead and spread your glaze from corner to corner. Fill it all in on your warm cheesecake bars. Here we are with your fudge glazed cheesecake squares. I guarantee you make these, they'll be one of your family's favorites.